Hey, everyone. I am back. Haven't done a live in a couple of weeks now. And I wanted to talk to you guys about my colleague Malcolm and his program, Idea Reality. And Malcolm will actually be joining us in a few minutes to learn, so that we could talk and learn all about this product development course. All tongue tied today, right? What day is it? What year is it? But first of all, really quickly, happy Black History Month, everyone. Definitely the first month of 2021. If we want to look at that, 2020 January was a continuation of 2020, and now we've finally hit 2021. That's been the rumor on the streets, and I'm going to keep carrying that on. And so today, when Malcolm joins in just a few moments, we'll be talking all about this product development course that he's built. So Malcolm is a serial entrepreneur, and he currently runs an agency, Ninjas in the Machine, or NITM, that they focus on app development, web development, software development, and they've been doing a great job at it. I remember back when I first started offering like web design services and even more development services. Malcolm was the person I tapped into. We've done a lot of partnerships together. He's also the vice president of Caribbeans and Tech and Entrepreneurship. So, he comes from a big line of experience working in this space of understanding what goes into building a product, right? He's worked with dozens of clients to figure out, okay, what is essential that you need to know? What do you need to do? How much should it cost? What are the key elements to have and develop a successful product? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And the course that he's offering, called Idea Reality, is essentially a 6-week course to help you go from idea to reality with your product. And a lot of times people are not sure where to start when they're doing product development. Should I, learn how to code myself? Should I hire somebody internationally? Should I hire a person locally? So, these are some of the questions that we're going to talk to Malcolm about in just a second. But understanding that before you even dive in and having this product development course, before you dive in and start making these expensive decisions, whether it's costly in time, costly in money, costly in just overall the process, making it take even longer to get your idea to a reality, right? We want to go over those questions. And I see Malcolm is here, so I'm going to add him to the stream. Hey,
Hi, Georgie, how you doing?
good.
How you doing? Sorry about that. Internet issues. Fios has been acting up. It's like this is my livelihood. You guys are messing with my internet. So
Yeah, don't even start. I mean, I feel like they all are, like Fios, Spectrum, all of it. I'm just
yep,
like, I want
yep,
no parts. But and I think it's also the weather. So we're both
yeah,
in
yeah,
New York.
yeah,
So the
yeah.
snowstorm that, hopefully it's done, because it did say that there was more snow headed for us Thursday, Friday. So
Really,
hopefully, I mean, that's what it said on Monday when I had looked at the weather. So
yeah.
hopefully it's done.
Hopefully it is done.
I like looking at the snow, and because I haven't left my house in forever, like I don't go
That's
outside,
perfect. Yeah,
I
I
don't have
had
to
to
mess with it.
shovel. I had to shovel it like 2 feet of snow yesterday to make pathways into the house, and it's like when you're young and when you're having fun, it's fun. But when you actually have to do work, it's like nah. We don't need snow.
You're like, I want no parts of this. I want no parts of this shoveling
No,
madness. I'm like,
no.
I like to look out my window, like, oh, look, it's snowflakes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why is there even snow? Like, why do we need snow? We don't need no snow.
All right, I don't know that one. You gotta take that one with the big man upstairs. But thank you so much for joining.
Sure,
And
thank
we
you for
decided
having me.
to work together to help promote this Idea Reality course. So
Yeah.
I gave a little bit of an introduction about you, but you could definitely tell us some more about why you created the Idea Reality course, what people
Mhm,
could get out of this course,
mhm.
some of the initial benefits of the course.
Yes, absolutely. So, like Georgie was saying, I've known Georgie since we were in school together. We were in Baruch. And I was in Baruch for business. Georgie was in Baruch for business. And, as business heads do, we always find that little hustle, that little person to help that needs our help and all this stuff. And what's good about like having this network of people who do different things is you can always ping somebody and reach out and say, hey, trying to do this. Can you give me some feedback? So it's like I'm trying to get Idea Reality out there. I ping Georgie, hey Georgie, can you help me with this? And it's like, yeah, let's do it. So, I've been in technology for working with technology since I was a teenager, all of that stuff. And me going through that, it was like instead of going out partying, I would be home playing video games and then fixing the computer and primarily computer games and all this stuff. And so you learn these intricacies and all this stuff, and then it becomes just a core skill and a passion. And this is what I do now. Having that skill set of being able to figure things out technically or whatever, that's good for me because this is what I do, and it's like it's fun for me to solve these problems. People that are trying to run their businesses or start their businesses, get their business off the ground, they don't know how to do that. That's tough, you know. They know they can make money or they think they can make money. They just don't know how to put their best foot forward in terms of the product that they're building. So I come in, help either get that plan together and get them to market, or we come in and we give them the skills that they need. And that's kind of where we focus on idea reality. So what I do with my clients on a day-to-day basis, help them understand how to manage their technical teams, how to manage the product roadmap, which is the most important thing. You're going to hear that a lot, especially if you're building something to the market. What's the MVP? What's the first version? How do I take all these things that I want to do that's going to cost me 40, 50, whatever, to bring it to fruition? How do I bring it down to, okay, I can only spend this amount of money now. What's the best thing for me to do in this phase? And I help to get that sorted out, help to get that done, help to make sure that that's clear. And that involves a few core skills, which is identifying the key features. What is it about what you want to do that absolutely makes sense for the people you're trying to sell it to? Like, what is it that's going to make you money? And what is it that's gonna that you're gonna do that you can par it down to the most basic things? And how do we make sure that we're keeping ownership of what we create, right? So if you're not creating it, someone else is creating it for you. How do you make sure that at the end of the day, that person is like, okay, this is yours, versus, okay, well, so it's no. If you pay for it, how do you have ownership? I run into that a lot of times where people have spent 10, 20, whatever amount of money on their projects, and they don't have ownership. You know, we teach those kind of critical skills courses. And even if you're not going to be the technical co-founder or the technical founder, you still have to have the high level, CEO should also know what technology their platform is running on. You should know that. If you're going to hire people, you need to be able to explain that, So that's kind of where we're doing. Idea Reality teaches you those core skills. So that
Malcolm, I think I'm losing you a little bit. If you can repeat
that
last
sentence.
Yeah, I mean, we did caveat. So guys, thank you for everyone that's tuning in. There's a little bit of a glitch. If you just, you're good up until that second to last sentence.
Yeah. Okay. So basically Idea Reality helps you decide whether or not you're going to waste your time or spend your time on something that does or doesn't make sense for you. And if it does, how can we move quickly to get it done?
Absolutely. And it's funny, I did we also have another mutual colleague, Corey. He was a guest on my podcast, and he talked about how he outsourced the development of his app and his product, and it come to find out like the app was not only written in like a code language that he didn't understand. It was also written in, I think he said, like Spanish. So it was like a double language barrier. So it was like a double language barrier because, of these little intricate pieces that, when you're excited as a founder, you want to get your idea out there, you want to build this thing. So you're just like, oh, XYZ use this developer in India or this developer in Honduras or wherever. I'm going to just follow that versus really truly knowing what your product needs, the critical thinking skills that go behind it, and what is the most efficient and effective way for your specific product to come to fruition versus just, oh, this other person did this, so that means it should work for me or it should be good for me. So tell us a little bit about, what to expect in the course. How long is it per week? And, just the format. Is it hybrid, in person, virtual? Tell us a little bit more details about the course itself.
Yeah, so the course is primarily now we've been forced to go virtual. I'm still in person if it's necessary, but if we're going to do that, I need to see COVID tests. I need to see you got to wear masks. I'm not with the no mask stuff. If you don't want to wear masks, you can get on Zoom virtually. So we'll have the Zoom link. You'll receive the exact link for where to visit. We may even consider using StreamYard. I think StreamYard could be a potentially good option, but we'll keep it simple for now. Zoom, everyone should be comfortable with Zoom. Since the pandemic, everyone is like a Zoom connoisseur now. So we'll keep it Zoom. And then it's 3 hours on Saturday, so we put it on a day that would work for everyone. We don't want to crowd. I think for the kind of thinking, because a lot of it is creative thinking, you need that brain bandwidth. So at the end of the day, you probably don't have that brain bandwidth, and you're doing yourself a disservice if you're rushing to get it done. If you still have that power to have that brain bandwidth, we can accelerate you. If you want to speed up your course with us, you can let us know, hey, I want to do this in 2 weeks versus 6 weeks. We can do that. But ideally, we keep it so you have enough time to go back, do the exercises, and then make sure that you're, ideally, if you have an idea, make sure that you're progressing on the idea towards where you need to be. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so, let's say I take this program, I'm there with you guys for the 6th week. What can I expect to come out of the program with? The program is now done. It's week 6. What tangible things can I expect to go away with? Is it a wireframe? Is it like, mini plan? Like what am I taking away with me?
So at the most basic level, you get an understanding of whether it makes sense to even build this product, right? So if you're thinking about building a social media platform, does it make sense? Who else has done it? Like that's the most basic thing. If you can get out of there knowing that social media platform doesn't make sense, then that's one deliverable, right? If you get out of there knowing it doesn't make sense, but then you figure, hey, if I can tweak it a little bit, then I'm good. So that's, you're coming out there with the clarity of understanding whether or not what you want to do makes sense. And then you're going to come out with a few documents, the requirements, which are incredibly important for any developer you work with, whether you work with me, a developer in India, a developer in the Caribbean, developer in South America, developer here, understanding what your product does and the basic functionality. Sometimes it's all in our head, right? And I see that sometimes it's like people outsource the work and then they tell the developer and the developer comes back and they're like, no, this is exactly what. No, put it on paper, make sure it's clear so that when you come back, that developer knows exactly what it is. Developers can be very, very, can be type A and introverted, which means that they give them the specific task and they'll do it. If you find a developer that's also creative thinking, then you have found the gold mine, but you're also going to pay for that, in time and costs, right? But if you get all the things specifically out there and you make it clear, this is what I want, that's how it's supposed to behave, so that's one aspect of it. You get to the skill to be able to put that stuff on a roadmap, right? So whether you're not going to know how long it's going to take, but if you can communicate those requirements to the developer, they can tell you how long it's going to take, right? So if you know, for example, that this could launch in 3 months, then you can make business decisions based on this product launching in 3 months, right? And then while the product is being built and you're getting your regular check-ins, you can make the other progress that's needed. So by the time it's done and you're ready to launch, you can launch ready to go. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say absolutely. And I think it's, the key point that you just mentioned, and I want to reiterate for everyone that's listening, is the roadmap. Because and then also just like the clear communication between yourself and then your developer, because it's that alone, right? Even if the developer is speaking English, there's a translation that needs to happen to say, I want the screen to flip 3 times backwards and then 2 times forward before the user logs in.
That's Kendrick Lamar, by the way. That's developing that out. That's Kendrick Lamar.
Right. And so it's like, by the time you explain that to somebody, and then, you might think, oh, this should just be 1, 2, 3 clicks, right? Forward and then backwards. But when the developer comes back and says, that's going to cost another 15,000, and you're like, why? Now you could now because of this course, you'll be able to understand. Oh, okay, it's not just a simple 1, 2, 3. It's the coding that goes behind it, the time, and just also, is it a need, right? What are the needs and like
that is actually a good point. That's actually a good point. So one of the documents you are able to create is called a scope document, right? And creative people. I have a creative side of me as well, but I have to be very analytical in the kind of my day-to-day. But that when that creative side comes out, it's like, there's 6 things I want to do. We want to go to Mars on a spaceship that's gold. All right, wait, step back, step back. What's the first thing you need to be able to go to Mars? That's your needs. You need to be able to source the engineers, be able to source the materials, you be able to put a plan together. Those needs to allow you to reach those goals, those small steps. You have to organize it, and that gives you the tiers of cost, right? So if the most basic thing is getting that idea to the point where someone wants to invest in it, that's your MVP. Those are the needs. That's the most minimum you can spend in time, effort, and cost to get that done. And then we help you organize the other major features. So if you have like 60 things in your head, it might only be 20 that's necessary for now, right? And then
Absolutely.
30 for the next phase, and then and you keep. So we help you organize that to make sure that those things. So that's called a scope document. That's what we help you build. And I follow a basic process for that, which makes sense to most people. As you were saying, like you have to translate from the idea person to the developer. I help you understand like how to make that communicable on both sides. So a developer come and understand it, you come and understand it, marketing come and understand it, whoever come and understand it. Once you can do that and communicate that, you're putting yourself on a much better level. And a lot of the times I help people with their kind of ideation and scope process, and they can go on and work with someone else. And that's the most important part.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And so again, you talked about the scope document, you talked
Mhm.
about a roadmap, you talked about just the mindset, right? The critical thinking
Mhm.
skills, the
Mhm.
understanding of what's necessary.
Mhm.
And I would love to, now that people are probably watching, like, okay, all right, this sounds great. 6 weeks, how much does it cost?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
the program is 750. And I personally think that's a steal, for what you're
Mhm.
getting, because there are courses that are $3,000 and it's not giving
Mhm.
you half as much information. You don't come out with as
Yeah.
much deliverables, and it's just essentially this, again, like you said, it's 6 weeks, but people could accelerate it if they want. But it just
Mhm.
brings that clarity, so okay, yes, I'm spending 750 here, but that's
Mhm.
gonna save me from spending 7,500,
Right.
75,000,
In
in the long
exactly.
run. So
Yeah. And
definitely think it's go ahead.
one of the benefits that we're doing a lot of the times, people do idea pitches. So a lot of the times, part of the like growth hacking, which you are aware of, for getting your startup out there, is getting those grants, those competition funds. A lot of times, in order to do that, you need to have those designs, those wireframes or whatever. So if in the course we kind of go through low fidelity wireframes, which is stuff you can draw yourself, or if you're technically adept, you could use Adobe XD or whatever to create your wireframes. That 750 that you invest in the course, if you decide to go with us in any way, shape, or form for your project, it becomes a credit towards the cost of that project. Right. So if you do decide, for example, you come with an idea and it makes sense, you want to go forward, it becomes a credit that helps you bring that idea to fruition and bring it to market. There's also one other aspect of that, which is ultimately all of the stuff that you're doing is entirely owned by you. I have no ownership stake in whatever you do. And this other skill that you come up with is ensuring how do I make sure that everything that I do or I work with, whether it's a contractor, consultant, co-founder, intern, whatever, how do I make sure that I have ownership? So we teach you the basic skills of not sharing passwords in email. Making sure that your
I be
GitHub,
forgetting
GitLab,
that skill
whatever
sometimes.
sometimes it's necessary, but I'd rather take the extra steps to make it a little bit tougher, but going the right way to make sure that your stuff is secure. Yeah.
Yeah, so absolutely. So, you're, and like you said, so it's like a 2-for-1 now. So not only do you get all this knowledge and expertise, but then if they decide to progress and work with your
Mhm.
team, they now
Mhm.
get a credit towards building that app. And, you guys have been
Mhm.
working together already. So it's just really like one,
Yep.
two, three. They know what they need, what they don't need. And, I want to go backwards a little bit to talk
Yep.
about that MVP part, right?
Mhm.
Because a lot of folks are trying to build 20, they're like, oh, I have an idea for a social
Mhm.
media
Yep.
app, and they're trying to build 2021 Instagram versus 2007, 8, 9,
Yeah.
10 Instagram. And that's where you actually have to start, right? Your app
Mhm.
is supposed to look a little crappy,
Yes,
wonky.
yes, yes.
When the product,
Yeah.
the MVP needs to be version 1 and not
Mhm.
somebody
Yeah.
else's version 200. And so just getting that misconception even outside of your head is going to
Mhm.
be a key and crucial part. So again, I see
Mhm.
we have more people that have
Great.
joined.
Mhm.
This is a
Mhm.
webinar, well, an info session
Mhm.
about Idea Reality course that is being offered by Ninjas in the Machine. And Malcolm is one of the founders of Ninjas in the Machine, as well as the lead teacher at for the Idea Reality course. So, if there are any questions from the audience, feel free to drop those in there, as well as post event. This replay will be available, and Malcolm will be paying attention to the comment section, and I'll forward him any comments. Yeah, go ahead. What you said?
There you go. Okay, awesome. No, I was looking. I was like, wait, I had it on full screen, so I'm like, where are the comments? They're right there. Okay, I see. Okay,
yeah. So, so if you guys have, if you're watching the replay, then feel free to, I think we're having a little delay because it's like I'm talking and you're talking. Go ahead. I think it's caught back up now. What you said?
Yeah, there was a little delay in the connection. Yeah, I think we're good now.
All right, cool. So, is there anything else you'd like to share? Shout outs to Verizon and Spectrum.
Yeah, so the whole I think you were asking the question of the concept of the MVP, right? And or their bottom of the barrel internet. I think more people are working from home right now, so it's just mixed up into that. Are we in sync now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think we are, or we're at a less of a delay.
Okay. All right. So I'll just talk about kind of like the MVP and not like putting out that version that is like version 100 of what that this company started 10 years ago. They started version 1. So it's not to say that you cannot put a pretty face to what you're doing out there. It's just, if you're going to be doing it, right? If you're going to be creating something that just offers the basics, versus anything different from what is already out there, then really do you need to do that? If what you're doing is different enough, you should put that forward right away, right? So if you're going to be an Instagram clone, what's different about your Instagram clone? Make that 100 front center right in the first version of your app, and then all the other features you start to pop it in. Because if you just build version 1 of Instagram from 10 years ago, then everybody's going to be like, well, what's so different about you? You're generic. You're not, you're not different enough. So that concept, you can still definitely put a pretty face to what it is that you do. So you can get nice designs that is up there, because the designers today are very good. And a lot of design theory is shared among different companies, different products, and all that stuff. So you can put your product out there with a top level design. You just have to make sure that that product is different enough and makes sense enough for that for the market that you're offering it to.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. And is there any final?
Let me know if I'm still cutting out.
It's a little bit delayed. So I was just going to say, is there any final comments that you want to share about the course overall? And then, again, we have the comment section. So post this session, people could, add the comments there, and I'll follow up with you so you could connect with them.
Yeah, sure. I mean, anything anyone wants to know about it, they can visit. You can share the link that I share with you so that they can visit the website. Everything is explained on the website. Basically, what we go through, where all the points that we go through, everything that they end up having to create, and everything that we do offer. We do consulting. So a lot of my work is with startup founders, people who are unclear about what they want to do. So I do have experience working with founders and helping them sort out not just product things, but product things that align with business, with marketing, with support, with outreach, whatever it is. And you're a part of my network. So it's like, if someone comes to me and say, hey, I'm like, oh, you need to go back to Georgie because she knows how to do that. So I utilize my network of people that I work with. There's people who I work with, for example, if you want to pitch, I can make sure that you're ready to go get that pitch and get that 1K, 2, 5K, whatever it is. A little couple K here and there does help you move your product along.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just to save us on, there's still a little bit of a delay, but I think the audio was good. The audio was coming through, even though there was a delay. So I think, we shared a lot of information today. The link is below this graphic. So if you go to bit.ly/GSD Idea Reality, it'll bring you right to the page for you to learn a lot more about the Idea Reality course. And then you can participate in that course. And, I recommend Malcolm for everything. So when folks come to us, they're like, we want to build a product or a big service. I'm like, well, I can't do that. Here you go, Malcolm. And Ninjas in Machine. And so, they, this is one of my trusted colleagues for years now. So, definitely if you are somebody that's thinking about an idea, ready to launch specifically a product and want to get that more product development niche going, please reach out to Malcolm and the team over at Ninjas in the Machine or take the Idea Reality course. Right now, enrollments for this round closes, I believe, this week. So definitely head on over to the site, check it out, sign up, and they will be doing various cohorts over the next couple months. So if you can't make it to this program, definitely, join the newsletter, join whatever you need to join so that we could participate in the future programs. Thank you so much, Malcolm, for being here for this info session today. And thank you so much, everyone that's in the audience that has participated. And if you're watching the replay, again, just reach out to Malcolm, reach out to the Idea Reality team. The link is right below us scrolling through the banners. And I'll make it big really quickly so you guys can see that. Pause the video here and go to bit.ly/GSD Idea Reality. And that is how you learn all about this program, enroll, and do what you have to do. So, and I think the video has caught up. So Malcolm, thank you for being here. Right? It starts working at the end.
Oh God, I'm switching between my hotspot and my home internet connection, and it's like, oh, I can't believe I have to do this. But yeah, we're good.
Don't worry. I held like a little workshop last week, and I'm just like, I was just like, for all my client events, everything is perfect. And me as a virtual producer, my own event is a crap show. I'm just like, oh, okay, great. Like nothing was working. I wanted to log in, and I'm just like, the virtual event producer that has a terribly produced virtual event.
Yeah, has a terrible. Like, get that connection up. I know you had connection issues before, but you gotta fix that. We're paying for it. Yeah.
Right. I'm just like, and it's crazy. I'm like, I don't mind paying more. It just needs to work. Like it just needs to not break.
Indeed.
Absolutely. So thank you, Malcolm, for joining me today. Thank you, everyone in the audience, for joining us. And again, check out Idea Reality. Leave some comments. We'll be following up with the comments. And yeah, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.